Aging is not really as hard as we make it. Aging is just different, right? We're entering into a period of our life that we have never been in before. And what we need to do first and foremost is let go of what we used to do and how things used to be and start embracing who we are now and figuring out what's going to work for us now. I know for me, as a woman of a certain age, a perimenopausal woman who I actually went into menopause at 35 because I had a full hysterectomy, and I was blessed enough that I didn't get any symptoms or anything until I was about 45. So that was great for me. But a lot of things about my body, my mindset, my likes, my dislikes, they have changed over the years. And in the very beginning, it was extremely disheartening for me because I wanted things to be the same. But I also realized that in order for me to continue to grow and mature, things couldn't stay the same. And I was just going to have to adjust and adapt. And one of the biggest issues that I have had going through this time in my life is sleeping. And sleeping is so important. Sleeping is probably the foundation of everything in life. And so I had to figure out how to get my sleep while I'm dealing with maybe aches and pains and definitely the heat. I'm hot and I'm cold. And, so I had to figure it out. And so if you are in a similar situation and you are struggling with sleep, I am going to share 5 things with you today that have helped me as a perimenopausal woman with night sweats and hot flashes get the sleep that I need in comfort and in peace. So if you're looking for some of those tips, you have landed on the right video. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Living Life with Stae, and I am Stae Hall. This channel is all about uplifting, supporting, educating, inspiring, and motivating the seasoned woman over 40. If you are a returning Life-E Tribe member, y'all already know the deal. Welcome back, and let's get right into it.
Living life is stage, hey, hey. Living life is stage, hey, hey. Living life is stage, hey, hey. Living life is stage, hey, hey.
So, I had been struggling with sleep for a couple of years before I actually decided to research and figure out what I could do to get some better sleep. Now, for me, I've never been a person who has to get like 8 to 10 hours of sleep, but I have always been able to fall asleep and stay asleep and feel rested until I got to be about 50 years old. Then it seemed like I was waking up every hour on the hour, couldn't get to bed until late at night. I would lay there, I would toss and turn, and then when I would finally fall asleep, I was overheated, I was sweating to the point where my pajamas were sticking to me. I felt like I needed to get up, take a shower, change my clothes, change my sheets. And going to bed just ended up being like a miserable time for me. I almost avoided it. I would stay up later and later because I felt like I'm not going to get good sleep. And there is nothing like falling asleep and waking up every hour and it's like it's 2 o'clock and then it's 3 o'clock and then you need to be up at 6, and so then your mind starts racing. How am I going to feel tomorrow? And so I finally decided to research it and start trying some things. And in the beginning, of course, it was all about melatonin. Well, melatonin didn't work for me. Melatonin seemed to have the adverse effect on me. I don't know why, but I am kind of a hyper person. I have anxiety. I definitely have ADHD. And a lot of times when you suffer with things like that, certain medications and supplements will end up having the adverse effects. So like I'm a person where coffee and caffeine used to make me sleepy. Now, not so much anymore. I am very intolerant to caffeine now. It makes my heart race. But back in the day when I was younger, coffee would make me sleepy. And so things change and things work differently for different people. I got the cooling pillow and, that really didn't work. And then I found out about the weighted blanket. Loved the weighted blanket. I loved the feeling of that, but it made me hot. And so I tried a lot of things, and these 5 things are what have worked for me the best. The first one is ashwagandha. If you don't know about ashwagandha, you need to do your research and get you some, because ashwagandha has so many health benefits. I get my ashwagandha from Costco because you can get like a million quadrillion of the capsules, and it lasts you for a year. But I used to take one from Goli, and so I'm not really sure if all ashwagandha is created equally, but just do your research, try some, find one that works for you. So that's the first thing I do at night. I take my ashwagandha, and I usually take the ashwagandha maybe 45 minutes to an hour before I want to go to sleep, to give it some time to actually get into my bloodstream and start calming me down. It's good for anxiety, just a lot of things, and it's natural. And so I usually take that, like I said, maybe 45 minutes to an hour before I go to bed, so that I am setting myself up for a successful night's sleep and not laying there waiting for the ashwagandha to kick in, right? So the next thing that I do is I take my shower at night with cool water, maybe just a little cooler than room temperature. It took some time getting used to, but what I realized is when I took my shower at night, the hot water and the steam would immediately ignite a hot flash in me that was going to last for a long time. I mean, I would be in the shower literally sweating. And when I get out of the shower, it's like the sweat would just keep coming, and almost uncontrollable. And so that's miserable. I felt like my bones were literally on fire. And so it's also something else that I do during the day now as well, because I would sweat so much, I couldn't even do my face because my makeup would literally be sliding off. And so if you're somebody who is struggling getting dressed and you feel like getting dressed is a huge chore, it always seems to bring on hot flashes, try changing the temperature of your water. Myself and steam do not get along. Even if I am in the bathroom while my husband's in the shower and I'm trying to do my makeup, just the steam from his shower will not allow me to do it. And so I keep one of these little fans in a lot of places in the house, but I also have one in the bathroom, and we'll talk more about fans later. But I keep one of these on while I'm putting on my makeup, and it also works like to dry down your concealer or your serums or whatever. But I keep mine to keep me cooled off. But I learned, and you can get these on Amazon. They are wireless, rechargeable. Like, I love them. I have them in several places in the house. But I just realized I have to have some air circulating. But that cooler water has helped me so much. Again, it takes a little getting used to because we're most of us used to the hot showers and the steam. But girl, that don't work for me. And even if I start off with a hot shower, because it's something about that hot water that makes you feel like, okay, I'm getting clean. I still halfway through, once I hit all the hot spots, that temperature is going down. So that's something you can definitely do. I know some people who do a whole, like almost a cold plunge type of thing. They take their hot shower and then turn the water all the way on to cold. So whatever you need to do, just make sure that your body is cooled down before you start getting dressed, or in this case, before you get into bed. So I take my cool shower in the evening after my ashwagandha. And then the next thing I do is, once I get into the bed, I get a notepad. And I'm not a real journal person, but I do what is called brain dumping, because I'm the type of person that thoughts will stay in my mind. And even in my sleep, if I don't get things out, if I don't work things out, and this is not necessarily bad things, it could be business ideas, it could be whatever has just kind of been on my mind during the day, I just write it down on a piece of paper. Again, not in any format, not necessarily journaling, literally just dumping out thoughts. And it works in two ways. It kind of gets it out of my mind and on the paper. And then I don't have to go to bed nervous and anxious about remembering things and what I wanted to start it and this great idea I had, because it's written down. And so then I can look at it the next day. And so whatever's in my mind, whatever thoughts that I have that aren't just bedtime thoughts, like I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I'm going to have a good night's sleep, I just brain dump. I write all of those things down and just kind of get them out of my head so that my mind is clear. So we have our ashwagandha, number 1. We have our cool shower, number 2. And we have our brain dump, number 3. Number 4 that I do is I keep a fan right on my nightstand. Now, the fan on my nightstand is a little more heavy duty than the one I just showed y'all. I'll go ahead and pop a picture of that right here. I got it from Costco, and this fan is so awesome. It has several different speeds. It oscillates side to side and up and down, and it has been a game changer for me. It is not wireless, so I have to plug it in, but it has just like a touch pad on it. So when my temperature changes throughout the night, I can just reach over and just lightly touch it, and it'll take the speed up. If I get a little too cool, I can just lightly touch it if I need to move the air. And I needed to have that right there on my nightstand, because even with the ceiling fan and the AC, sometimes I just get too hot. But I noticed that if I get too hot and I have that fan right there, I don't have to completely break out of my sleep, get up, adjust something, do something different, turn on the light to look at the AC. I can just hit that fan. That has been a game changer for me. And what I also realized is the very light hum from the fan is also like very soothing, almost like this ASMR. And it doesn't bother my husband. So you know it's a very light hum, and it's right there. We're in the same bed, in the same room. It doesn't bother him at all. But it gives me a way to regulate my temperature without sweating to death and having to get up and make all these different adjustments. So that has just been life-changing for me, and it was such a minor change. And that's why I say, when you start to notice these things, do some research, because it doesn't have to be anything major to be life-changing. You don't necessarily have to get on hormones or take all of these supplements. It can just be little minor things, little minor adjustments that take next to no effort, cost little to nothing, that can change your entire life. And so the last thing that I do that has been awesome for me in so many ways is we listen to nighttime affirmations while we sleep. And I will link some of my favorite ones in the description box below. But there are affirmations that are on YouTube that are literally made for your sleep. And they say them in calm, soothing tones. Of course, all about positivity. And you can choose if you want affirmations for better health, if you want affirmations for business success, if you want affirmations for your love life, whatever it is. There are all different types of subjects and categories. And they'll range from lasting anywhere from like 4 hours nonstop. And these are like ad-free. So even if you don't have the paid version of YouTube, they're ad-free. And it's anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 hours. And so I'm usually asleep before the third or fourth affirmation. And it's amazing, because I truly believe that while we're sleeping, our subconscious can be penetrated. And the reason why I believe it so deeply is because back in the day, I used to keep the TV on because I just don't like quiet. Quiet just makes me anxious for whatever reason, because I feel like I hear every little thing. And so I used to leave the TV on back in the day, but not with anything intentional on, like whatever I was watching, and I would fall asleep. And whatever was on TV would tend to end up being in my dreams, or every single time something changed, like a commercial would come on or a new show would come on, I would end up waking up. And so our subconscious, in my opinion, can be penetrated. So why not have something positive playing all night? And you just feel better when you wake up in the morning and you get up and you do your own affirmations. But I absolutely love it. It's been a game changer. My husband loves it. Like, even if I forget or if I fall asleep before him, because it's inevitable, we're going to wake up in the middle of the night at our age to go to the bathroom. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't even turn on the affirmations tonight, and they're playing. And so it has just been wonderful. Now, the last thing I want to give you, I know I told you 5, but I'm going to give you one more for a bonus. And this may not work for everyone, but we love it. Is we have this little stargazer type of machine, which I'll also link that in the description below and pop a video of it in action on the screen here. But it is so cool. And I was first introduced to this by my nephew Donovan. For those of you who are new to the channel, I have an amazing nephew, Donovan. He is 18 years old. He's autistic and nonverbal. He is my sister Margot's son. And Margot actually has a book that you can find on Amazon called Why Is Everything So Loud? And it's a little kid's book, or for anyone with autism or families who are dealing with any type of special needs. But it's about a little boy named Jackson who ends up wearing noise canceling headphones because of the overstimulation of things in day-to-day life. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, please check her out on Amazon. Her name is Margot Towner, Towner, and Margot is Margo on Amazon, and the book is called Why Is Everything So Loud? So please check her out, and I've interviewed her on the channel before. But anyway, just wanted to put that out there because Donovan is the reason why I have this starlight machine, as I call it, because we stayed at their house and he had one in his room, and my husband and I actually stayed in Donovan's room while we were there. And my sister was like, oh, that's Donovan's little light machine, do y'all want me to turn it off? And we're like, no, this is so cool. It's like sleeping under the stars, and it has different modes, and so you can kind of pick it. And so that's just a little bonus if you like things like that. Some people, you know, it probably wouldn't work for because of the lights, but it's nothing real bright or whatever. But it's just awesome. I'm all about setting the mood, setting the atmosphere, creating a vibe anytime, and especially when you're going to bed, right? Because for me, and I know a lot of us, we're going all the time, and relaxation comes hard for me. Like today, I went and got my nails done, and I got a pedicure, and you know, they're trying to manipulate my fingers, do what they need to do, even during the massage, and they're constantly like, relax, relax. And I think I am relaxed, but I'm not. And I realize, I don't know if any of you experience this, like sometimes I just like have my hands clenched, or I'll realize I'm doing something. It's just like, I'm a naturally tense person. I'm not proud of it, but that's just the fact of the matter. So I have to be intentional about creating an atmosphere, creating a vibe of tranquility and peace. And so these are the 5 things with the bonus number 6 that I do consistently every night to ensure that I get a good night's sleep. And now, since I wear the Oura Ring, I'm able to track my sleep, and it's been good. I love it. I get scores sometimes as high as 93 for my sleep score, and a readiness score of 96, which means I slept well enough where I'm ready for the day. But I also love the ring because there are some nights, because nothing is perfect, where I don't get as good sleep, but the ring lets me know you need to relax a little more today. And so this is not sponsored at all by Aura or Margot Towner and Donovan, because I definitely gave them a big shout out here. But these are actually things that work for me. And so if you're interested in the Aura Ring, it's awesome. It'll let you know if things are off a little in your body, like maybe you might be getting a cold. So it's just amazing. Just another way to track and keep data. So hopefully some of these tips are things that you all are willing to try. If you are, please let me know in the comments below which one you're going to implement into your bedtime routine. And then if there's something that I didn't mention that you think I can add that might work for me, please leave that down in the comments below. I think I said description box below, but y'all know what I mean, the comments below, because I would love to hear what you all are doing and what's working for you. So y'all know the drill. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Lux is going crazy because Amazon's outside. I don't know what I'm getting, but I actually did order another one of these too, so it might be coming today. So I apologize for my crazy dog. Y'all already know how Lux is, but y'all know the drill. Always be kind and love one another, but don't forget to live your life. L-Y-F-E. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Sweet dreams.
Living life is Stae. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is Stae. Hey, hey. Living life is